some images from the book. This is the cover. And I kind of, I don't know, I've been writing, like story ideas down. I wrote songs for a while and all sorts of stuff, but usually I don't do anything with them. They just sit in notebooks. And I guess when my daughter was young, the two of us wrote a couple, 3, 4 actual children's stories. And so, where was I going with that? Anyway, I had a bunch of ideas about what I wanted to do. Most of them were like too much, kind of, they took place in space or whatever. They were just kind of like, for where I was as an artist and everything, I just didn't think I could do it. But one night I was driving home from a gig. I sometimes will play guitar at different places. And I was passed on the service road outside of Spearfish by a city vehicle. And I don't know how fast they were going. They're going really just bloody fast. And this was about the time when everybody was talking about the supermoon. And so there's all this talk of supermoons, and I just was kind of thinking, what could they possibly be doing in the city vehicle, roaming around at high speed in the middle of winter at night when it's really dark. And so I came up with the idea that maybe they were, I don't know, maybe it was animal control and there was a werewolf on the loose. And for whatever reason, I don't know, I just started taking some dictation with my phone, jotting things down. And I don't know, in a month or two, I had more ideas for stories. I had arcs, I had characters, I had all this stuff going on. And so it actually was 3 years ago during the US Open, my wife and daughter and I were watching tennis, and that was when I first started sketching this out, doing thumbnails that would, I'd use with the text later on. And so I kind of, identified like a, part of the story that would work as 24. Actually, it started off as 17. And that didn't seem to be enough. So I storyboarded this, or I, thumbnailed it, made sure everything was going to work, and I started in on it, and it was a lot of fun. It takes place in the Black Hills of South Dakota in a small college town. I don't, basically I think of it as Spearfish. I guess, I don't know if I have an overactive imagination or what, but I tend to, go up the canyon and my brain starts telling myself stories. And so there's some things in here that are kind of like directly, you could identify as being part of the Black Hills easily. Other things, maybe not so much. The two main characters are just kind of, this first book just sort of introduces the characters and sends them off on an adventure. with another guy, Brimsby, who's, of course, every werewolf, vampire, whatever story needs a priest. So Brimsby's the priest. And he's helping them work through this. And then of course they all have their problems, as any good characters in a book will have. They kind of help each other work through. Like Dex, I guess he has the military background, and he's, kind of has it all together in certain ways, and maybe Temple understands certain things in a different way. And anyway, they kind of run into problems, help each other out. And of course, I don't know if there's any like real big answers to life in this, but hopefully it's kind of fun. And I think, my main objective was just to write a story and improve my drawing. As a kid, I drew constantly. I think I actually drew better in high school than I do now, which I found kind of disappointing at some point when I realized that. This is from the second book. And then that previous slide was the day I got my 100 books that I ordered back from the printer. And that was probably the highlight, actually, was, to see